Hello. Tanse everyone. Okay, bonjour. I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful beginning to spring. So it is spring officially. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anybody in Wilkinston knows that when we say it's spring officially, that means we've got at least one or two more big dumps of snow. And seeing the bear in Yananaskis in December, and he was not very ready. I don't think we're not in for an early spring, that's for darn sure. But I'm very thankful that we've made it this far. I can't believe it's almost the end of March. Pretty crazy. It's already the 21st. But I'm just really thankful and humbled to be where I am and to be able to share in a good way. I hope everyone is having a beautiful week. I know we've had a really lovely stretch of nice weather here in Mulkinstis, which is Calgary, and I'm just really thankful and humbled to live where I am. I love Chinooks. They kind of give you hope for the next bout, and so yeah, I just wanted to welcome everybody in a good way by acknowledging the land upon which we stand, because of course that's really important to know where you are. And I acknowledge all of the elders and knowledge keepers that have guided me on my journey here in Mohkinstsis, and so I acknowledge the Blackfoot of Siksika, Kaina, and Pagani, also known as the Nitsitapi or the Nitsitapi, depending on who you ask, who you talk to, and the dialect they speak. I also wanted to acknowledge the Beaver people of Tsutsuna and the Stoney Nakoda of Morley, which includes Chiniki, Bears Paw, and Wesley First Nations. Oh, not Wesley anymore. Big Stony First Nation. And also the Métis. I'm wearing my Métis sash today, so I did find it, and I was just so thankful and humbled that I found my sash. And we are in Métis Region 3. It's powerful to be able to wear my sash. It's just my way of acknowledging that mixed heritage, how things have come together, but also it just carries so many teachings with it. So all of the colors have a special significance. I mean, all of the colors of our ribbon skirts have significance as well, and so it's just bringing together all of those things. And I'm just really thankful and humbled to be able to wear it and to have been able to find it again. And so I wanted to welcome everyone in a good way with the Cree welcome song, because again, that's just my way of bringing people in and acknowledging our ancestors, acknowledging the land that we stand on, but also acknowledging our journeys together. And so Miasin is from the Natahau family of Sturgeon Lake Cree Nation. We sing it in rounds of 3 to be able to keep the circle open and welcoming so everyone completes the circle. And it's just our way of gathering in all of the ancestors, of acknowledging those ancestors that have been through so much to be able to bring us here, to be able to have guided us in a good way so that we are here, but also to have been able to leave those teachings for us in a good way. And so Miasin honors and acknowledges that. And it doesn't just mean welcome, it also means beautiful. Whee! Miasin, Miasin, Hasemina, Hasemina, Epetakote, Niwagomagan, Ota, Homa, Kitaskino, Miasin, Miasen, Hasemina, Hasemina, Epetakote, Niwagomagan, Hota, Homa, Kitaskino, Miasin, Miasen, Hasemina, Hasemina, Epetakote, Hi, and welcome to the circle, everybody. So, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am going to start with a smudge. It was funny, I was at a school today and I prepped a smudge, but we never smudged, which was so weird. So normally when I prep a smudge, I talk about it, I talk about the medicines, and then we get to smudge at the end. But because of the space that we were in, we weren't able to smudge. I did talk about, what a dry smudge was, but for us not to smudge after setting those medicines and passing the balls around the room, it was just very odd. So I'm excited to smudge tonight. And of course, when I smudge, I only use sage because that in Cree is the women's medicine. So if a woman has an our moon time, she can smudge with sage because it's not acceptable to ask a woman if she's on her moon time or not, if she wants to share that that's her business. And so when we are leading ceremonies or sharing circles, we only smudge with sage because then we don't have to call somebody out for being on their moon time or asking them to leave a circle. It's just open to everyone, which I think is such a beautiful way to do it. So I'm just squishing and scrunching things here because nobody should ever feel like they're called out in a circle. No one should ever feel like they have to leave because of a natural body process. And so those are just my teachings, though everybody has different protocols depending on what area they're in. This is why it's good to ask before you have to stand up and leave a circle, because it's just a little uncomfortable to do that. Yeah, because again, it's like call out culture. Nobody really likes that. I mean, obviously it's important, but in the context of your bodily functions, it is not. So, that being said, pardon me, I acknowledge the medicines that I have out right now. I think I choked on a chicken nugget before it came. So, the medicines that I have out, sweetgrass in the east, to honor our mind, to honor the men's medicine, to honor fire, to honor that balance between masculine and feminine, of course, and to just honor our childhood. I acknowledge sweetgrass and just the teachings, the 7 teachings in that beautiful, beautiful thing. Oh, hold on, I can't see your question, my friend. Give me a second to move my screen over. Why would anyone have to leave? Yes. Oh, I just kind of mentioned that call out culture. So, sweetgrass being the men's medicine, because when you're on your moon time, you're considered really strong and really powerful. So, in some circles, you'll be asked to leave if we're smudging with sweetgrass. Because it's like you're going through a moon ceremony. So, that's like a water ceremony already. So, it would be like throwing a big bucket of water on a candle. You'd put it out. And so, that energy would kind of be quashed by your energy, and it just kind of would mess with things a bit. So out of respect for that particular medicine, we'll take a step back. But in community ceremonies, I think it's important that if everyone is invited to participate, that they know what you're going to smudge with, so they don't have to step out before you're like, oh, I'm about to light a smudge of sweetgrass, and here it's men's medicine, get out. So yeah, and you shouldn't really have to say get out of a circle, like ever. You shouldn't have to do that, because that's just kind of rude and exclusionary, and it makes people feel uncomfortable, like not only the people who have to leave, but the people who have to watch them leave. It's just not good. And so you want to keep community as inclusive as possible, and by doing that, by smudging with sweetgrass prior, we make sure that it's not usually in mixed ceremony, or if it's in mixed ceremony, people know it ahead of time, so they don't have to step out in the middle of that circle. But yeah, this is why we always use sage, that women's medicine. But again, everybody's teachings are different, so this is why you have to ask ahead of time so you don't feel like you're ousted or uncomfortable in a circle. But yeah, I think it's really important. What about postmenopause? Then you're good. You're good anytime. As long as you're not spotting or anything like that, you are good. You are in that next phase of the moon cycle. You're in the next phase of the medicine wheel, and so you're good to go. You don't need to worry about it. So you're fine. Same with women who have had hysterectomies. They don't have to worry about it. They can smudge with anything, especially in mixed ceremonies. They can come at any time. And so, yeah, so there we go. We got that sage. So sweetgrass in the east, again, masculine medicine. It's connected to fire. And this is cedar. It is in the south. It's connected to our body. Again, these are just my teachings. So If it makes sense to you, awesome, and if it doesn't, that's okay. But I also think calling people out for ceremony is not okay. Calling people out in ceremony is not okay. You want people to feel welcome and included, and you want your ceremony to be inclusive. And if anyone ever feels uncomfortable in ceremony, then you're taking out that aspect of ceremony. You're not living within the 7 teachings, one of them being respect. Having respect for everyone and everyone's feelings, having love and compassion for people. That's another one of those 7 teachings. And so it's really important to honor those. And so that being said, you want to be able to respect and honor everyone. And so sweetgrass, cedar, sage, which is the women's medicine, which is universal, which we'll be smudging with, and then tobacco. And so we smudge to be able to just let go of the things that we don't need and call in the things that we do need, which is really important. We take off metal. I haven't been able to take off this ring. I've been trying every time I smudge and it won't come off. And it's not, it's not the right finger to be like, hey guys, my ring won't come off and like show you that, but you know. So normally we would take off any metal that we're wearing, with the exception of like fresh piercings, because we want to make sure that those heal properly. Or if you wear something all the time, like a wedding ring, you leave that on. If it's your glasses, you can take them off and smudge them, because that's the way you see the world. But again, everybody has different teachings. Some people don't mind if you wear jewelry during your smudge, as long as it's not in ceremony. You definitely don't want to wear jewelry inside a sweat lodge, because it gets hot. It gets really hot. And it would very, very much hurt. I had a friend who accidentally wore a chain into the sweat lodge. She got out. She literally like had almost like borderline burn marks along where her chain was. It was not a good time for her. It was almost like, it looked like a very super concentrated sunburn where her stuff had been. Awesome. Oh, it must have known I wasn't ready to smudge yet. It went out. That's the first time it's gone out in a really long time. So again, always using matches. I never want to use a lighter just because it disrespects the relationship that we have with the earth, because we're not entitled to the butane or the metal or the plastic. Always smudging it or fanning it with my hand, or a feather, or a fan, or if you have something else. Some people have like another little shell to be able to smudge with it, so, or to be able to fan it, but never blow on it, because your breath is your life and your life is precious and you don't waste that for anybody. And so the first thing I like to do is just clean my hands, so anything I'm carrying I get rid of. Unfortunately, I can't get rid of this ring, apparently. Bring it over yourself 4 times, one of the 4 directions in your body. Smudge my mind so I can think clearly and learn from every person that crosses my path, so I can remember to be open-minded and never rigid with my thinking. Also, so we can think good thoughts. Elder Shirley does that. Think good thoughts, see good things, hear good things. I love that. It's just so sweet and so simple and pure. So we can think good thoughts. Smudge my ears so I can listen twice as much as I speak. So I can be open to hear all of the messages that are sent to me, and so I can hear people fully and completely for everything that they truly say. So I give thanks for my hearing, and I'm always aware of my surroundings, and so I can hear good things. I smudge my eyes so I can see all of the beauty that surrounds me, to give thanks for my vision and the ability to see the unseen. But also to be able to see good things and to see people fully and completely for who they are, and to see everything in nature for the gift that it is. I smudge my nose so I smell danger and nature and cookies and good things. I smudge my mouth so I speak good words, always asking myself, is it truthful? Is it helpful? Is it kind? And if it's none of those things, don't say it, don't do it. I smudge my throat because I'm very thankful for my voice this lifetime, so I can continue to give voice to the voiceless. I smudge my lungs to honor the sacred breath that we all share. Very thankful for my breathing, to heal my asthma, but also to honor the animals that we, or the plants that we breathe with. I smudge my heart, so I stay kind and compassionate, show unconditional love to everyone around us, my family, friends, myself, and all my relations. That's everything and everyone around us. The plants, the animals, the rocks, the stones, the wind, the water, everything is our relation. Smudge your stomach so all of the food that you eat this day will nourish your body in a good way. And pray for abundance for those that don't have around the world. And smudge my belly button. That's where we're connected to our spirit before we come into this world, so that's where our spirit speaks through us and to us. Is honoring the voice of our intuition, our internal thunderbird, our ancestors, and our own spirit speaking through us and to us, so that we can listen more clearly to it, because it's never wrong. I smudge my shoulders and my back, so I can carry all of my responsibilities with grace, strength, courage, and wisdom. Smudge my arms and my hands so I can do the good work that Creator's put me here to do, with humility and knowing that it's not all about me, but it's about community in a good way. Smudge my legs so I walk this red road in a good way, to remain steadfast on my path ahead, to find my path easily and in a good way. And then I smudge my feet to stay grounded and connected to Mother Earth, treading lightly upon her and honoring her with every step. And then if there's anywhere else in your body you need a little extra love, so my back's a little sore today, so I smudge my back and my hips. And then if there's anywhere in your body or anyone that you want to send some love to, some healing to, maybe they've had a hard week, maybe they are going through something physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. You want to send that love to them, that healing to them, so you hold them in your heart and you just bring that smoke to your heart and hold them in your heart. And then when you're all done, you just say thank you in your language and say hi, miigwech, merci, gracias, xie, dankeschön, masicho. So however you say thank you in your language. Blackfoot, hey. And yeah, that is that. So I am going to, what song I'm going to sing today? The Women's Warrior song. I've just been thinking of the wonderful women that I'm kind of surrounded with. And I'm so thankful and humbled to have so many incredible, strong women in my life, strong Indigenous women in my life. The women that, I work on events with, the women that are taking on other events and like coordinating them, the strength of the women that just come together and we stand up and we sing and we drum and we don't expect anything in return. I think that's really important, but also acknowledging our value and our worth. And so on events that have no money, yeah, of course, walk away with nothing because you're gifting back to the community. But on events where they actually have a budget, yes, it's important to get paid because we're giving our energy, we're giving our life, we're giving our time, but most importantly, we're giving our spirit to community. So it's important to feel valued and appreciated so you don't burn out. Yeah. And so that being said, I think the Women's Warrior song is very, very important. I also think it's very poignant in this time. And so I wanted to share this and give a shout out to those women warriors that are all around me. A warrior is someone not just who like fights on the front line, but a warrior is someone who stands up for what's right. It's someone who defends the people who are defenseless, the people who, advocate for people who are struggling, people who advocate for people who just need a voice and need a platform and need their stories to be shared. People who, really work together to make the community a better place, not just for themselves, but for all future generations. And those truly are the warriors, the ones that are raising their voice and standing up, whether that be in a gentle way by raising their children or other people's children in a good way, or the ones that are literally on the front lines, marching, but with gentleness in their heart and with kindness and, helping community in a good way. That's what a warrior is. And so I'm going to play the Women's Warrior song from my friends. And for all of those amazing warrior women out there. This song is a sailor song. And so this song was brought actually during AIM, during the Oka crisis. And it was basically to honor these women who had been locked in prison, the grandmothers, and for no reason, for no just cause. And so when they finally got out, this song was kind of honored and gifted to really honor them and honor their struggle and honor the strength that they had. And so this is the Women's Warrior song. And again, this is my son's drum. I'm not sure how it's going to sound, but we'll see. We'll figure it out. So the next song that I wanted to share, so there's an event coming up on May 5th. Please do put it in your calendars. It won't be during the day this year. It will be in kind of the evening, 5 o'clock. If you're in Mulkinstis, it will be in the Field of Crosses, which will be called, kind of dubbed the Field of Red Ribbons, so that we're honoring, our murdered, missing, and exploited Indigenous women, girls, Two-Spirit people, young ones, family members, are men as well, and anyone who's really been exploited or taken away from their communities and is really trying to, their families are really hurting and struggling and trying to get answers. I think that's really important. And so that's truly what this song honors and represents. It's just, I'm going to sing the other song because it's really about that longing that we have as parents, as family members, to make sure that our friends and family are okay. And so in the song, I learned it as the mother song. So it's the mother calling out and the child's calling back, but they tend to get further and further away. And it's like when they grow up, they drift further and further away. And you're kind of used to it, but you've hoped that you gave them a really good solid base and they know that they're loved and taken care of and they always have a place to go, a safe place to go. But unfortunately, with the residential school system and 60s Scoop and foster care, which is like residential school 2.0, we haven't had that ability to raise our children. And so when a child was taken away, it was this, you're being wrenched away entirely from your community. And so now we're starting to pick up those pieces, and there's a lot of us that are breaking that cycle of intergenerational trauma, but it's still really difficult. And so I'm going to sing this all the way through as that symbol of when we do rise above and when we do come together and when we can break those cycles of intergenerational trauma. We still hear that hurt in our heart as parents or as caregivers, as we're calling out to our children to give them a better chance, but instead of drifting away, we are together. And so this is the mother song. actually Aw, hi Steph. So I'm actually gonna be singing a song. Aw, singing a song. This song actually isn't my song. This is Elder Carrie Moore's song, and this was her grandma's song. And the story behind this song is traditionally we would go berry picking. Although the women would go berry picking, they would take all the kids with them. All of the elders would go that were too old to go hunting with the men, any of the two-spirit people, because of course two-spirit people had to learn everything. They had to learn the hunting, they had to learn the fishing, they had to learn all of the women's as well as men's roles, as well as the roles for two-spirit people. And so that was just because if anything happened, then they could fill into those roles. They could fill in those gaps, which was really important. And so everyone would go berry picking, all the kids and all of the girls and all of the women and aunties and mums and cookums. The grandmothers, of course, were the ones in charge. And I don't know about you, my cookum is terrifying. Nobody argues with her. And so everyone would go berry picking, and the grandmothers, of course, would sit at the biggest bush, and they would be taking care of the babies, who, of course, explore the world by putting everything in their mouth, because babies are adorable and disgusting. And so the grandmothers would be like, oh, don't eat that rock, or spit out that pine cone, or don't chew on a bug, or, ooh, are you eating dirt? Spit that out, or, oh, don't eat that flower, or don't eat a spider. Oh, put the squirrel down. Squirrels don't belong in your mouth. Because babies will literally put anything in their mouth. My son used to put the entire cat's face in his mouth when he was a baby. I was more impressed the cat let him do it. But as babies do, and as they have done since time immemorial, the littler kids would be eating more berries than they were actually picking, and they would be sitting and listening to wonderful stories from their elders. Any of the eldest men that were too old to go hunting, they were sitting back and they were sharing these incredible stories. And then those little kids who were listening to those stories and eating those berries would just generally be sticky, and that hasn't changed in thousands of years. Kids under the age of 5, they are generally sticky. And then the older kids would be running around and, climbing trees, skipping stones, playing tag, playing hand games, learning about the world around them through play, because that's the best way to learn, is through playing, is through exploring, is through trying new things, and nature is the best teacher of anything. The boys, once they turned 12, they were considered on their path to becoming a man. So they would leave those women's ceremonies, they would leave those women's practices, and they would go hunting with the men. But because they were raised with women and they learned how to honor and respect their grandmothers and their aunties and all of the women in their nation, they always had that deep reverence, and they knew that when they were out hunting, they were doing it for the whole community. They understood that. And so they would go hunting with the men. Again, the two-spirit people, they would do both, because they would have to learn everything. Two-spirit people, we are busy. The teenage girls would be off and not really picking as many berries as they should be, because they would be too busy talking about their crushes. Oh my gosh. Did you see that guy's moccasins? He is so super cute. Yeah, that hasn't changed in thousands of years, trust me. I have two 16-year-old girls at home. It is insane. And then, of course, the mums and the aunties would be the ones picking all of the berries for the nation for the year. In thousands of years, not a lot has changed. And so as everybody would get scattered to the 4 directions and it would be time to go, the grandmothers would call out. But they wouldn't say, yo, where you at? Because that would be ridiculous and totally not relevant to the era. But they would call out using a voice. And as soon as you heard that voice, you knew exactly whose grandmother was calling you. So I would hear, you're like, oh, there's my cookum. I should call back. And so I'd call back. She's like, oh, there's Chantal. And then she'd hear other voices. There's my son Lyndon. I know he's over there. There's my cousin Yvonne. I know she's over there. Oh, there's my cousin Megan. I know she's over there. Hi, hi, hi! There's my mom. Can't do her voice with a straight face, but she's over there. And so as you would hear these voices, you would know exactly where everybody was, and that it was time to come home, and that everyone was safe. Now this was really important, because in times of war or in times of danger, you would have a safe camp. But you wouldn't just like walk in and be like, hey, is everybody okay? Because you didn't know, right? You didn't know if it was safe, you didn't know if it was compromised, you didn't know if you were being followed. And so you would wait until silence fell and until darkness fell. And then you would call out. And you would listen, and I would hear, ah, ah! All right, there's my friend Ashlyn. I know they're over there. Then I'd hear, ah! Oh, there's my cousin Steph. I know she's over there. Ha! There's my friend Darcy. I know he's over there. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There's my Auntie Georgie. She's over there. All right, there's Melly. She's over there. And whoop, 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 whoop. That's because I'm Michelle. She's a little weird, but she's fine. She's over there. And so you would know that everybody was safe and that it was time to come home, because you can always tell in people's voices if they're okay or not. If you ask your friend, hey, are you okay? And they're like, I'm fine. They're not fine. And so we can still tell in each other's voices if we're okay or not. And so it teaches us to honor each other's voices and to really listen to each other. And so that's what helps guide us home. And so now we don't use our voices like we used to. I mean, some of us do. I do. I use mine whenever we're camping because it's the best way to find each other. It's also the best way to scare the crap out of bears, because bears are like, those people are loud and obnoxious and I'm not going anywhere near them. I'm out. But also it's awesome when we're at rallies. We call out. We can find each other. We can hear each other. It's perfect. Or I use mine at Walmart, much to my kids' chagrin. And so if we're in Walmart and I've lost my kids, and of course it's a dead zone, your cell phones don't work, so I'll call out, and then I'll hear, or this is my son Lyndon, usually in the electronics section, checking out video games, and then I'll hear, Mom, could you just not? You're really embarrassing me. I'm like, oh, there's my eldest son, usually in the deli, and then I'll hear shuffling footsteps behind me as my girls are like, I can't believe you do that in public. It is so weird. Oh my gosh, there's people looking at you. Like, my friends are here. There are people from my school here. But I find them every time, don't I? And so at the end of the song, we let out our voice, and it might be a squeak, and it might be a roar, it might sound like an alien or an animal, but no matter what, your voice is uniquely yours, and no one else has that voice. Some people might have something similar, but it'll never be exactly the same. So it's really about finding your voice, finding your heart, and finding your spirit. But your spirit isn't in your throat or in your mouth or in your chest. It's elsewhere. It's right here. It's right in your belly button, because that is where you're connected before you come into this world. So that's where your spirit speaks through you and to you. So you got to figure out, if it's not coming, where is it getting stuck? And it can get stuck multiple places. The older you get, the more stuck it gets. So getting stuck in your head because you're overthinking things or too worried about what other people think of you. Is it gets stuck in your mouth because sometimes you're talking for the sake of talking, but you're not actually speaking your truth? Is it stuck in your throat because sometimes you're not speaking out at all? You're holding your own voice back, and you're not defending yourself or those that you believe in, or the things that you believe in are the people around you. Is it getting stuck in your shoulders or your back? So those are the voices that we carry for other people, whether that be the voices that we put on for family or friends or work or school or social media. And so our voice can kind of get stuck in those kind of places. This is why a lot of people have back pain, because we're holding voices for other people. And it's really about shaking those out and finding our true and genuine voice and letting that come out. Is it getting stuck here in our chest or in our heart? That's where we hold a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of trauma. It's recognizing that we need to love ourselves and heal ourselves from the inside. And once we love ourselves, well, we're the only person we have to live with for our entire life. And so we're able to let out our voice fully and completely. Through healing. Is it getting stuck here in your tummy? So this is like your self-worth. So anytime you doubt yourself, anytime you kind of say something bad to yourself, like I can't do it, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not good enough, or you compare yourself to someone else, or you're like, I'm dumb, I can't do it, I'm stupid. You're pushing your voice down. And so just recognize that you're amazing. Don't compare yourself to someone else, because there's no one else in the world like you. And that's amazing. So honor that. Or is it getting stuck in your belly button because you're simply not breathing deep enough? I'm connecting. So no matter where it is in your body, find it, push it out, and let your voice sing. And so the song itself is the grandmother calling out, and you're calling back. So it's way-ya, hey-ya, way-ya, way-ya, hey-ya. 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 And so we're going to sing this through 4 times. The third time, though, that's the part of the story where they're looking for their safe count. So we're going to get quiet And then the next time we found each other, so we're going to celebrate. We're going to get loud. And so this is the berry picking song. Thank you to Carrie Moore. That is a fun song. Thank you. Thank you, Elder Carrie. I do love that song. And so, yeah. The next song I'm going to share is, I think the Ancestor song. So this is the, I call it the Blue Jays song, but it's like the ancestor birds song. So the birds always talk to each other, and they have this wisdom in their words. They know when the seasons are changing. They know when the seasons are coming. They can feel the changes in the wind, and they can fly. They can see far more than us. And so it's really about the wisdom that the birds hold. I wrote it specifically for the community that comes together through the bird spirits. Even though some of them are in competition, when there's a bird feeder, everyone calls out and been like, here, this is where the snacks are. It's interesting how the bigger birds sometimes will get at it first, and then the little birds will be underneath, the ones picking up the pieces. But together they clear everything away. And in particular, this song reminds me of the blue jay and the way that it honors community. So the blue jay is my spirit animal, and I'm very thankful that it's always guided me in a good way in the hard times. I go outside and I hear it, and it reminds me that, yeah, I can continue on, because it's continued on for thousands of generations, as have my family. And so when we see the blue jay, when you hear the blue jay, you hear that kind of that call that it always has, that right? And that's not the only call. It does so many different voices, and the reason it has this multifaceted voice is because it takes on the calls of other animals to communicate with them, which is really cool, or the other birds to communicate with them. And also, if There's a mother bird who is killed before she has a chance to finish rearing her young. The blue jays will actually take care of those young, and they'll mimic the calls of their parents so that they can take care of that bird and kind of give them that same voice, and so they know and they feel comfortable, and they can find their own voice as well. It's kind of interesting. But also, when we look at a blue jay, we see blue. This is why we call it a blue jay, but it's actually not blue, it's brown. The only reason it looks blue is because there's a very fine filament that's iridescent, which actually reflects blue in the sun. So they're shapeshifters in a way, not only with their voice, but with their colors, with the way that they interact with other birds. They change their personality. They're more gentle with smaller birds, they're more aggressive with big birds, but they also warn the community if there's danger coming by calling out. So if they know that there's a predator coming, they'll actually call out by using predator voices. And thanks, Mom. And so this is the ancestral bird song. And so, yeah, I have time for a couple more. And so, the song that I'm going to share next, just thinking about a lot of the songs that kind of like have resonated deeply with me this week. And definitely the Thunderbird song has. I'm in the process of writing a spring song. Stay tuned. It's tricky because it's like I'm learning words at a time and hoping that they make sense. But not being raised with my language has been really challenging now that I'm trying to reclaim it, because I just don't want to make any missteps. But I know if you don't make mistakes, then you can't correct them, then you can't learn. So it's important to make mistakes. But yeah. So I'm gonna share. I was gonna share. I don't know. Honestly, Kitsy Gakaman just popped into my head. So I think I'm going to share that. So this is an Olivia Tailfeather song. And I see my sister's stuff there. So this is Dee and the Babies. Kitsy Gakaman, I love you. And I like to do it usually as a call and response, but I'm going to sing it all the way through. And when I do, the first one I sing it to is everyone. Then I sing it to our beautiful Mother Earth, which is Na'a. And then I sing it to where we live, which is Mokinstis. And then I sing it to everyone again, because we are all in this together. We're all family, all my relations. And so, yeah, this is Kitsy Gakaman, it's the Blackfoot I Love You song. It's the only Blackfoot song I know. I need to learn more, but it's hard to remember them because for some reason the Blackfoot language just doesn't stick in my head the way that the Anishinaabe or Cree language sits in my head. But I'm sure I'll get it eventually, because I am, after all, in Blackfoot territory. So this is Kitsy Gakaman. Oh, a different thank you song popped into my head. So I'm going to do, this is an Anishinaabe thank you song. Yeah. Or not. Now I've got my thank you song in my head. So I'm going to share the thank you song and then the journey song. So this is the thank you song, which is hi hi, thank you in Cree, Magwitch, thank you in Anishinaabe, and Marcy, thank you all around in Michif. Hi hi, Magwitch, Marcy. Hi hi, Magwitch, Marcy. From me to you. song so that everyone might have a great journey ahead. Happy spring. And may the next several weeks be very gentle on us, because I have a feeling we're going to get some crazy snow. We'll see what happens. And so, yeah, this is the journey song to all. Sakito into your family. Sakito into your friends. Sakito into your journey until we meet again. Wah hey, ah hey, way, ah hey, oh. Wah hey, ah hey, way, ah oh. Wah hey, ah hey, way, ah hey, oh. Wah hey, ah hey, ah oh. Sakihito into their family. Sakihito into their friends. Sakihito into their journey until we meet again. Ah hey, way, ah hey, oh. Ah hey, way, ah oh. Ah hey, way, ah hey, oh. Ah hey, ah oh. Sakihito into my family. Sakihito into my friends. Sakihito into my journey until we meet again. Wah hey, way, ah hey, oh. Wah hey, way, ah oh. Wah hey, way, ah hey, oh. Wah hey, ah oh. Sakihito into our families. Sakihito into our friends. Sakihito into our journey until we meet again. Wah hey, way, ah hey, oh. Wah hey, way, ah oh. Oh hey, way, ah hey, oh. Until we meet again. Until we meet again. Hi everyone. I hope you have a beautiful night, and I will definitely see you next week, hopefully. Fingers crossed, health permitting. Have a beautiful week. Happy spring equinox, which was yesterday, and have a beautiful week ahead. And again, I have workshops coming up. I keep forgetting. So create.ca, CREE, the number 8.ca. Tons of workshops coming up. This Sunday, I have medicine wheel teachings and a medicine bag making workshop. The end of the month, I have drum making. You can come make one of these beautiful babies that I've made for my son. And I use deer, elk, moose, and buffalo, one for each direction of the medicine wheel. I also have rattle making coming up. There's Métis finger weaving coming up, and there's even a ribbon skirt making workshop coming up for Mother's Day. So yeah, definitely check out the website, and it is open to everyone. You don't have to be Indigenous. I think it's important to be able to share the culture and to be able to learn and to ask questions in a safe place, and so and to bring that back to your communities is so important. So hi everyone, Miigwech, Marcy, hey, and Blackfoot, and I will see you soon. Love you, everybody. Saki hit the win, and Kitsuka.